three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
All right, everybody, welcome to a show we're excited to do. We're going to bring some positivity. 4 coins you want to be holding during the bear market so you can cash in when we finally get back into that bull market in hopefully a year and a half or maybe even sooner. What's up, Ryan? We're glad you tuned in. Please hit that like. Keep it up, subscribe. We're getting a little bit closer to 400, but we need your help. So spread the word. We've got some exciting content coming. Yeah, we're going to still be doing Voyager updates, but we've got a lot of money-making ideas for you guys, our loyal listeners. So we hope you guys come in. MrFOMO, we got 4 coins, and we're going to start with one that just came on to Robinhood. You might say, AZcrypto Robinhood, that's for newbies. Well, guess what? There are going to be a lot of people jumping into crypto over the next 2 years. Just watch the bandwagon fill right back up in 2024 into 2025. And a lot of those people are going to wet their feet into Robinhood. Just put their toes in a little bit, and they're going to see something called Avalanche and be like, what is this Avalanche? They're going to realize it's easy to get on all the major platforms, and they're going to see the value. And Avalanche has a very strong community. And I wanted to share, I think it's really, really important that we're able to show our viewers exactly what they're buying into. So here, if you take a look, here's the Avalanche all-time chart. Okay? This is where we are, folks. Right? This is where we are. Okay? A little over 17. Let's take a look at up here. You're not buying up here at 134. You're buying at 17. All right. I'm very, very high on Avalanche. This is not one that I thought would get on Robinhood so quickly. Robinhood is trying to expand their crypto market. But this was an alt that not a lot of people knew about, MrFOMO. And, we were excited about it on Voyager. Voyager was supposed to run everything on Avalanche, including their NFTs. Sadly, that's never going to happen. But we're talking about a market cap here of only 68 point. Excuse me. No, that's the 24-hour volume. Not that low. A little over 5 billion, which is still a mid cap there. Not too bad. But I think this thing has enormous potential. The Avalanche project is very, very upfront. You go to their website, see who the leadership is, see what their plans are for the future, white paper, everything is out there. It's not one of the coins you're worried about is going to be banned, I don't think, by the government anytime soon. Getting on Robinhood, I think, is a big deal, even if a lot of people laugh at Robinhood. Again, I think a lot of people were thrown off by what happened with Celsius and Voyager. There's even been some scares with Coinbase a little bit. Not Coinbase has gone down, but there's been a lot of, it's been, following us, it's been a rough 4 months here in crypto land. So I think Avalanche is a really strong pick here. Thanks, Brian. We'll look into them. That's a good one too. Yeah. We're always up for suggestions. But I like Avalanche because, MrFOMO, I feel like it's safe. And you're getting a ton of upside. And in a bear market where there's so much uncertainty, yeah, we saw Bitcoin go back to 20K. But let's be honest, guys. Is anyone going to be shocked if over the weekend we go back under 20? Absolutely not. Anyone to be shocked if we go back under 18, under 19 in the 18? No. God, we're not getting to 30K anytime soon. Yeah, eventually we're going to hit an all-time high, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I like DCAing here, and I think that's the key. You don't want to throw all your money in. Maybe Avalanche goes down to $10. I don't know. Now, in the last bull run, we saw it go from 10 to 100 in less than 9 weeks. It's pretty crazy.
We made a little bit of AVAX money.
Yeah, and I wish I'd gotten in earlier in the bull run. In fact, I remember of the summer when it hit 10, I in person, in the flesh, told you, are we not obligated to get a lot of Avalanche right here? And we didn't do it. Let's be honest with our viewers. But man, I had the Luna pick, which worked out great temporarily, but Avalanche obviously not safe long term. What are your quick views on Avalanche?
I think, like you said, it's safe. There's a lot of partnerships there. There's a lot of use case. There's a lot of utility. So I think it's a safe pick because it's going to be around in the next bull run, and it's got a lot of room to run. This summer really killed the crypto market with the macro, with 3AC and everything that fell apart because of that and Terra Luna, and so I think this has a lot of room to run, and I like that pick.
Yeah, I really like it a lot. If I had to give a price prediction for the next bull run, I think getting to 200 is very, very doable. Looking at the past all-time high, and you're getting it at 17 right now, DCAing. Again, with all the alts, you're going to have to wait a while. If you really, unless you want to make a quick 5 to 8%, you can. But if you want to make some long-term profitable trades for entertainment purposes only, of course, we're not financial advisors, you're going to have to wait a little bit, but that's okay. You can DCA. You can take your time over the next 12 months. And in 2024, maybe early 2025, I think you'll like where you'll be. Now, I got another one for you, Mr. FOMO, that I'm very, very high on. And a lot of people don't like the company. They did not win the Voyager bidding process. But Binance is a monster in the crypto world. And we all know how powerful Binance is. There's no doubt about it. And the great thing about the Binance coin, Mr. FOMO, is the utility is unmatched. I'm telling you right now, there's no token that has the utility of the Binance token. You want to see something crazy, guys and girls? Under $1, right? Look at the last bull run. Okay, 651. Are you kidding me? Now 281. Yeah, now you're not buying down here, but Binance is going nowhere. In fact, up 3.23% today. It has its own chain. And if you don't know what that means, people have to use Binance to use the Binance chain. You have to own the tokens. If you're on Binance US or if you're on regular Binance internationally, you have to hold Binance to really escape large fees. It's got amazing utility. It's something I wanted VGX to have too, and people were telling me it was never going to happen. I said, okay. All I know is I see Binance constantly going up during the bull market. And I held some, I dabbled in there. You got to be careful of the Binance ecosystem because there's a lot of fake dud projects on there. But the bottom line is Binance itself is an amazing token to hold because it really has a ton of utility. There's a lot of people constantly using it, and internationally. And I think that's what the appeal is. They did not unfortunately get the Voyager bid, but I think they're going to find a way to expand in the U.S. eventually in the next bull run. Their leadership is very, very gung-ho. They're very aggressive. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to find a way to either expand Binance US or do a whole new platform, I think, and get more US users. And I think BNB is going to become more powerful in the United States, not less, and keep its international appeal. So I like Binance to possibly early prediction for entertainment purposes only. I can see Binance hitting 1,000 in the next bull run. Yeah. How about that?
I think I think you're probably right. Again, another safe pick because they're a monster, right? CZ is the man aside from SBF in the crypto world. So I think this is a no-brainer. And again, this is assuming that Bitcoin and Ethereum are already in your portfolio. You're DCAing into those whenever possible or into one of those whenever possible. We're leaving those two out as the two big dogs in the market.
Absolutely. Yeah. Never wrong to get some in BTC. Absolutely.
And that's one thing I really like that you said, that the utility of BNB, because that's something that we always talk about. Utility. It has to have a use case. Otherwise,
And I think the next bull run, you're going to see utility be much more valuable. In our bull run, we learned that hype was the king. Buy the rumor, sell the news. But I think for crypto to really become mainstream, and we're seeing it very slowly with the adaptation of NFTs, but for mainstream, you better have something that has real world appeal that people are actually buying and using. And BNB in the crypto world has appeal. Avalanche does. Now, Avalanche, if NFTs become more and more popular and pervasive, Avalanche is a growing ecosystem that could be very valuable. So I like those two because I think they really have a future. And you've got some for our viewers, I think, that also have some.
Well, I think we were leading right into some here, and the first one I want to talk about is Cosmos with the ticker Atom, up just over 1%. Right now, they're actually going through an upgrade. They're building in more interoperability, which is their calling card, right? So they're building in more interoperability, which is, you said real world use cases, or you talk about, it's got to look like what banks are actually doing today. Interoperability is what banks are doing today. It allows your bank to, message another bank and say, hey, debit funds from this person and send them over here to pay me, or, vice versa. But so they are scaling up. They're becoming more interoperable, which we think is a huge deal in crypto. They're becoming more decentralized and more secure. And so this new upgrade that's going on right now, or should be going on in the next few days, is an interchain web that allows new chains that are building on top of Cosmos to borrow validator pools rather than go out and find their own. That means you're immediately secure, right? You don't have to build a pool of validators. You've got your validators already. It's like a turnkey business. You've got a pool of validators right there validating all your transactions. Now you're instantly secure rather than building to security. And I think that's one of the great things about Cosmos is that you build on Cosmos, but then you borrow their security, you borrow their interoperability, you borrow their decentralization. So I think that is going to be something that's important. I think you're probably getting a little bit of buy the rumor, sell the news action right now, which is why it's not moving that much, because the upgrade is ongoing. But they call themselves the Internet of Blockchains. With what I was just talking about, you can see that's very true. One of the reasons why they fell so much over this last year, and I'm going to share my screen and we'll go into the chart for this. One of the reasons why they fell so much over the last year is because Luna was built on top of them. And you can see this chart over the last year. We'll do year to date. But Luna was built on top of them. And when Luna crashed, it caused a huge crash in Cosmos. So Cosmos, though, is coming in at around $13 right now. It has a $3.7 billion market cap. Their 24-hour volume, let me switch back over to the stream. But their 24-hour volume, wow, why isn't this letting me do this? Their 24-hour volume is about 303 million. Circulating supply, 286 million of a 290 million supply. But that supply is not necessarily a set supply. That's not something that they are necessarily locked into. I'm not sure if that's something that's going to go up or down, because you have to build on top of it.
Really quickly, I'm glad you brought up the Luna situation. That dropped the price down all the way back to $5.54. And at one point, it got up to $44.65. So you're not getting at the very low, but you're still getting pretty low. Remember, we are advising you to DCA and not go all in at once. So if things go low, you're fine. I think you still have plenty of time to DCA into these. I like this one. It wouldn't shock me if this eventually got into things like Robinhood. You can pick it up at most, easily on Coinbase and things like that. So I like Atom. Why don't you give us your second strong pick?
Yeah, and that one is ranked number 23 now. We're going to go a little bit further down the list to number 43.
One of my favorites.
eGold. This is a channel favorite. And the reason we like eGold so much, not just because it's the second largest blockchain behind ETH, but because it has a limited supply, a very limited supply. And that supply is 31 million, about 31.41 million eGold. But you have to remember 1.65% of that was never converted from ERD, the old token. So 1.65% of that actually doesn't exist. It's not there. So you can go ahead and take those tokens off. So it's actually a lot less than that. And right now, the circulating supply is 23.5 million e-gold. So we're getting close to having maybe a supply shock with that one. But one of the other interesting things I found out, the top wallets for e-gold are all exchanges. Exchange wallets hold a ton of e-gold. So exchanges believe in it, they believe in holding it, and they believe people are going to want it. They're going to have their first annual conference upcoming in November. So there might be a little bit of buy the rumor, sell the news with e-gold. You might even see that happening now. They're up almost 6% over the last 24 hours. But scalability, speed, security, and a limited supply, and a supply shock may come into play in the next bull run. So this one may jump well over its all-time high.
Yeah,
but
I could see this one at 1.3 billion. Are you kidding me?
I could see this one easily 5xing, right? Easily 5x for this, and easily a 3 to 4x for Cosmos. No problem.
If this gets more hype on Coinbase and gets on Robinhood,
that's the biggest problem, right?
Yeah, it could easily take off, but the tokenomics are there for amazing success. Brian, we're going to get to your point in just a bit, but remember, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We're pushing towards 500. You got to help us out here. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Let's get us some more subscribers. Brian, I think this is important. Mr. FOMO says, only hope for Voyager being bought by SBF is if he does what he does for BlockFi. So here's the concern. The tweets that came out, yes, Sam did tweet that he was going to not try to buy things on the pennies and give a dollar back to the customer. That doesn't mean we're getting 100%. The concern, though, is in the court documents, and I don't have it in front of me to bring up, they talked about us customers moving to, to FTX US or FTX. The problem is they don't have a lot of coins, and they would have to liquidate some of our value. So, for example, if you held ADA, that would be liquidated. If you held eGold, that would be liquidated. So, Brian, I wish that he saw value in the platform, but as of right now, we have no evidence for that. We have a vote coming up. Voyager's supposed to send out an email about when that vote is taking place in terms of whether to accept the bid. Hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. So, as we do our quick Voyager update, we just don't know right now, Mr. FOMO. A lot of people, I mean, it's tough to say. Not everyone's on Twitter, but there's a decent amount of people on Twitter saying vote no. because right now it doesn't look good for VGX, doesn't look good for the platform. And again, at some point, you got to get your funds back and you got to make peace with what you have. I mean, I would love VGX to have another life. I would love the platform to come back. But at this point, I'm not expecting it. And that way, if it comes back, it's an amazing surprise and amazing bonus. I just want to get funds from my family back so I can move on and reinvest. So again, I haven't given up on VGX.
I think that
I haven't given up on the platform just yet. Maybe Sam has a change of heart. He did keep BlockFi up. They are using their technology, but right now, to be honest with you, Brian, I wouldn't expect it. Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't expect even though, gosh, that platform was so good. We were talking about it today comparatively to Coinbase and FTX.
For me, the closest thing is Binance US. Not as good.
And it just still isn't the same.
No, it's not. But I don't like Coinbase. There's something about I don't love the fees. I don't love the fact that you can only get stuff.
It's the fees. Wallet. It really is. And maybe Coinbase One is a little bit better once you pay that monthly fee. But the fees are sort of there's sort of a turnoff there. And then KuCoin, you've got to get a PhD to function on KuCoin. For most people, it doesn't look like what you're used to dealing with.
Coin is not for the new user, no.
It definitely isn't. So it's not for somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. I certainly would take my time with that one. Binance, there's been problems with your coins being locked up for a time once you get on there, or your money being locked up. Once you first
buy your BNB, you have to keep it there.
Right, and so there are problems all over the place. So yeah, I mean, wish upon a star. I wish that Voyager's platform would come back because that would be fantastic. The reality probably isn't going to be so fantastic, but my hope is that if we can clamor enough with these other platforms, we can get them to incorporate some of the things that made Voyager great.
And hey, listen, the 19th is coming up in October. There's going to be a vote, so stay tuned. We'll give you more information.
Well, remember, and one thing I want people to remember is that 1.4 billion, that included the assets that about 1.3, and then the 100 million on top of that was for the rest of the company, the platform, all that. So it really is up to SBF what happens next.
As long as the vote comes in for the sale, yeah, and the judge
right.
approves.
And I keep tweeting at him to when and if the vote goes through, convert my VGX to FTT. I want a native token for a native token with value, and that one's deflationary, so it wouldn't be so bad. I mean, there is a silver lining to that dark cloud. Getting, if you got the value back for your VGX tokens and you swapped it over to FTT going into the bull run, that's like buying BNB. It's a cheaper coin and it has, similar functionality. Now, it doesn't have as much utility as BNB. I'm not going to lie to you there. However, I guarantee you that coin is going to jump in the next bull run. And so if I was worried about having a native token that still had value, I just swap that value that I get back over to the FTT token.
Yeah,
or
we'll
BNB.
keep you guys we'll keep you guys updated. We wanted to do this not special, but regular show without doing all Voyager this time. We've got a Crypto Meets Sports World show coming up for you guys. I think you guys are going to really like another way to make passive income coming up on the show. We want to thank everyone that joined us live. We'll keep you guys updated on Voyager. We'll keep telling you about coins that you should look into during the bear market. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. Everybody have a great night.
See ya.